So, here we are again. Brand new season, brand new Grand Challenge. It's still the GC. It's going to be Global Challenge at some points, but it is still the GC. Now there's 8 of them. And I've made it very clear that this is my least favourite part of competing across a VGC season. And now I probably have to do it 8 times. But at least, hopefully there's some kind of entertainment that is coming from it, where you suffer through my pain that is always the GC. Everything always goes wrong in the GC. Don't know what it is. There's some sort of curse on me, but we'll keep trying. So, best of 1 closed team sheet. Ideally, you have some sort of unexpected text on there. In open team sheet, obviously they're revealed, so they're not as effective as sometimes a surprise set can be. So, the Assault Vest Dondozo is something I've been holding on to for ages. Like, I think it's probably the best Dondozo, just because that 1.5 times boost is also doubled. So it stacks on top of the commander boost and makes it basically unkillable. I've used screens with the Assault Vest Dondozo in previous regulations, and I was just looking through Pokemon to try and get dual screens on the team, and Glamora stood out. Because Glamora has been classically paired up with Dondozos, you get the Toxic Debris, hopefully activated on their side, and then you can put them into range of whatever the Dondozo wants to go for, so they can't try and stall things out. He's going to be able to chip away at them nicely. So I've got the Glamora that can still do its regular Glamora thing, but also it's going to be setting up screens. We just saw the Covert Cloak Volcarona get top 4 in, was it Baltimore? Was that the tournament? I think it was Baltimore. That it got top 4, and it seemed pretty effective. And I've always liked the combination of screen setter and also Snarl and Will-O-Wisp user. Strugglebug, same thing. Like my favorite has been Grimmsnarl Spectria. I've used that a lot in previous, not just regulations, previous generations. That's what I'm looking for. So this is going to be hopefully a very similar thing. Dondozo needs his Tatsugiri. I like choice specs because Tatsugiri actually has very respectable special attacks. So even when the Dondozo is taken care of, well, Tatsugiri is still hitting very hard. And like Spec Striker, Meteor, Kanoko things, I've got Terra Blast on there purely for opposing Dondozo, so that I can actually hit it super effectively if I need to. Baxcalibur has been very good in Regulation A Dondozo teams. There was like a Baxcalibur Volcarona team, I think it was like Toxic Spikes Meowscarada back then, that picked up and did very well. Baxcalibur is super busted in this regulation. People don't realise it yet. They just haven't been using the Life Orb High Horsepower Terra Ground set, because then that counters the Golden Goes. You outspeed Golden Goes. You only just, but you still do. And then you can just OHKO them with the Ground Terra High Horsepower unexpectedly. And like I said, this is the GC. Unexpected techs are going to be very good. Ground Terra Excalibur is not common yet. It should be. It's like super busted. But there we go. And Golden Go, that's just a pretty standard Golden Go. It was going to be Specs, but then I like Specs on the Tatsugiri. So Iron Plate is the best I've got because Life Orb is taken, Choice Specs is taken. So here is just Golden Go. So yeah, this is the team I'm going to be using. We'll see if it's going to be effective. But it's the GC, so who knows. Oh, it begins. Oh, but I've got a 15-something rated player. Nice. So, that's pretty standard. However, I was hoping not to have to face any Dondozo, because my Assault Vest Dondozo loses to opposing Dondozo, because their lefties outpaces me, because we don't get into just a stalemate. They actually outpace me. So, right, my theory of beating Dondozo was to leave Baxcalibur and Glamora and just Ice Shard myself immediately so that my Dondozo actually can beat them. So would that be reasonable against also Rain with it? It could very easily be a Surf Dondozo, actually. Actually, like, it's more common than not for it to be a Surf Dondozo. So actually, my Assault Vest Dondozo would be reasonable against that. So I'm going to go with that logic, and I'm still going to go with my Glamora Baxcalibur, and I will have Dondozo Tatsugiri in the back. I think Volcarona's not very good here. I think Golden Go is not that great here. So I will go with this. I was hoping to face as little Dondozo as possible. If it's the Surf one, that's so good for me if it's the Life Orb. Like, because they will do nothing to my Assault Vest Dondozo. So, hopefully, this is not just the standard leftovers one. If it is, then oh no, and I will have had to have Ice Sharded myself on turn 1. But there we go. Oh, yeah, trainer card. I need to do that as well. I barely saw that one. Sorry, you'll get a rating next time. Okay, just Archaludon. That's okay. I could Terra Ground High Horsepower the Archaludon immediately. I want my Toxic Spikes, though. could Ice Shard the Whimsicott for massive damage. I can just Sludge Bomb it. I reckon it's worth light screening first. I'm going under the assumption that it's a Surf Dondozo. So I'm going to Terra Ground, High Horsepower, and I'm going to attempt a light screen. We'll see if my best of one tech pays off, and whether I should have just Ice Sharded myself. I should survive a Flash Cannon. Like, there's no way I don't survive a Flash Cannon with, like, a bulky Glamora, right? And they have to Tailwind to outspeed me, which they should do. Oh yeah, that's a thing. They didn't have an Annihilate, so... That's alright, though. Like, I'm okay with that, because my Dondozo doesn't care. Kind of wasted my Terra, which I'd have liked to have saved for my Tatsugiri, but I get a Light Screen here, which is reasonable for, hopefully, this Surf Dondozo. If it's not Surf, then this is going very wrong, and I should have reflected. But this will still do okay damage. Like, that's alright. Body Press should not KO me, even at +5, right? +5 won't get me. It's a shame I didn't reflect, because this will be extra damage I didn't have to have taken. You know, my damage instinct is on point. I reckon that I do want to Ice Shard myself now. I will go down to my recoil. Do I Ice Shard the Whimsicott instead? Do I need the Reflect? I don't think I need the Reflect because the Dondozo doesn't care about +5 defense. So I will Ice Shard the Whimsicott. And what was there on the rest of the team? It was like an Ursaluna Pelipper stuff, wasn't it? And Dondozo. So, I will Earth Power the Archaludon. Oh, they're Terroring. Interesting. I assume it's to not be weak to the ground stuff, but, you know, don't really care. I might start to care when now I can't hit it reasonably with my... Yeah, there's the Encore, that's fine. I don't particularly care about that. Because I'm going to be switching something into a Tatsugiri anyway. So, yeah, that's really good damage. That Excalibur goes down. They're going to Body Press... Glamora is bulkier than my back Excalibur, I think. So, based on the previous stuff, should also survive the... Oh yeah, and Body Press, they activate the Toxic Spikes for me. Cool, cool. So, that's alright. I'll take that. Because yeah, it's obviously Dondozo. And it's definitely switched. Now, what way rounds do I do this? I can't order up because they can Encore me and then the Whimsicott technically beats my Dondozo. So I think I must Earthquake first. And switch to Tatsugiri just to take care of the Whimsicott. And I might as well get a little bit of chip onto the Whimsicott. If they switch into... They're not switching into Pelipper because I switched first. Unless they're no speed. Which they should be because they're beat up. So... I'll KO the Whimsicott, and they can't Electro Shock just yet. Whimsicott only gets Sunny Day, it doesn't get Rain Dance. So this Archaludon is kind of useless against me. I reckon I can just ignore the Archaludon. But then if they switch in Pelipper, then maybe I need to not ignore it. Yeah, Body Press will be pathetic, because unaware. So, you know, that's why I didn't really care about the Archaludon. A little bit of chip. And if they have their own Dondozo, then they get poisoned and I should win that. It's a shame I didn't get 2 layers, because that would win a lot easier. And if it's Pelipper, they don't have Dondozo Tatsugiri, and I should be fine regardless. Yeah, there's just regular old Tatsugiri. So... I think I still do order up the Tatsugiri, because if they switch into Dondozo this turn, then nothing happens. And I'll still get around a poison. Because the Tatsugiri... Yeah, like, I still think this is fine. This has immediately become so much less fine. This is the GC. Oh, no, come on. Really? Really? Oh, that was pathetic. Oh, I was so scared for a sec. But yeah, now their Dondozo is useless. Even if it was Sash, the poison would have got it. Oh yeah, that was pathetic because it wasn't guarantee crit, right? Yeah, because Dragon Shear now... and they're not a dragon, so they're only at 12% chance to crit, unless they have Scope Lens, and they are not even Dondozo, so... I still have my Glamora, which definitely outspeeds, so I absolutely wave crash the... They've Dragon Sheared, and they might be Scope Lens, they might have a 50% chance to crit through. How many turns of Tailwinds left? It's 2, isn't it? Yeah. And I don't have Protect on either of the other Pokemon. No, I'll wave crash the Ursaluna. It's fine. Don't crit. Nice. And I should survive a Blood Moon with my Assault Vest. Yeah, look at that. Light Screen Assault Vest. Like, why are people not using this Dondozo? It's always been leftovers and just stalling out. But why do you need to stall out when you just don't get KO'd? So, yeah, that Dragon Shear scared me for a sec. But this seemed absolutely fine. Because it's nice, because people think that our Chaludon is actually pretty reasonable against my Dondozo, and it's actually not. Like, as you've seen, the now going to rise in popularity Attack Yourself Archaludon, like, can barely do anything. Yes, that one crit, it wouldn't have KO'd without the crit, but it's fine, because now the Tailwind is stalled out and Glamora just Sludge Bombs, so. Yeah, I'll take that as a start to the GC. I could potentially have got GC'd if the Draco Meteor had crit, but I'll take some fortune to start me off. Nice. Take those. So already a good showing of Light Screen and also a Assault Vest. I'm kind of glad I didn't Reflect. The Reflect would have been useless. So the Body Press was just doing nothing. So, yeah, take that. Okay, there's the trainer card. That's actually a pretty cool trainer card. So I always say that this is my true streak now. And it's never been a true streak on any GC ever. Am I finally going to get a true streak? Yeah, look at that. I overtook the person. No, they had 31, didn't they? So I didn't overtake them. But yeah, 17 points for first game. That's really good. Oh, but then it's balanced out. It's fine. What we got? Ooh. That is... was it? Is it Ben Grisma who... I don't know if it's the exact team, but I'm pretty sure that is close enough. So what was it? It was a Choice Spec Stealfox, it was a Psychic Seed Sneasler, Sash Indeedee, it was the Population Bomb Mousehold. I've seen a pace of Ben Grisma's team. I'm trying to remember it. I'm not sure there was an Annihilate. So I reckon that could be just a, could be a Final Gambit Annihilate. But then they've got 2 potential beat-up Pokemon. But then this is the GC, so, you know, who knows. Right, it's definitely Volcarona lead. And I believe it will be Golden Go as well. And I do want Dondozo and Tatsugiri. I don't want my Glamora here, not against Ice Spam. Excalibur is not ideal. So yeah. I'm content enough with these, but this is the kind of team that I don't really want to face. I mean, I'm going to have to just deal with anything that's thrown at me, but this kind of hyper-offense team I feel like has the potential to just break through my team pretty easily. Because I'm supposed to be super bulky, like bolt myself out with a Dondozo with the Assault Vest and the Light Screen and maybe some Struggle Bugs and Will-O-Wisps here and there and so on and so on, and that's a cool training card. But this is the kind of hyper-offense team that could break through me. If it's the Scarf Final Gambit Annihilate, that's much worse. But it is just regular old Mouseape. So, what's to do here? I reckon the most efficient thing to do would be to Tailwind and to make it rain. And then if they don't Terra Fire, I will be able to Will-O-Wisp them next time. And if they do Terra Fire, suddenly you're weak to Earthquake. So I'm going to Tailwind. Mousehold might outspeed me, but Annihilate can't. And then do I Terra make it rain? Because as far as I remember, that is just a no bulk Mousehold. So I'm just going to regular make it rain. I want to save my Terra. Ideally, I can Terra Steel in the face of Side Spam. Okay, so that's alright, because I've got a really good chance, I was going to say, a really good chance to burn the Mouse Hold immediately. And, like, well, not immediately, but if I would have burned at any point, then I do survive this quite comfortably. It's a bit of a shame I didn't Will-O-Wisp the Annihilate, but Tailwind is good here. But because of the Flame Body most likely activating at some point, I was almost certainly going to survive that attack. If they didn't get burned at any point, that was really unlucky. That's a really big hit, so I'll take that. That's Assault Vest Annihilate, right? That's got to be Assault Vest Annihilate. So now, I would like to Struggle Bug KO the Mouse Hold. But that would activate Rage Fist a little bit more. I don't think that's too much of a concern. Would that also activate Defiant? But that doesn't matter for my Dondozo. So I think I will Struggle Bug for the KO. And I will just Shadow Ball the Annihilate now. That's alright. It's just a little bit of chip, but super boosting the Annihilate, but I don't really care. Because, you know, 150 power Rage Fist now, and also +2 because of Defiance. But that's not a concern to my Dondozo that's waiting in the back, because I'm going to do enough chip that this Annihilate is in range of whatever Dondozo wants to do. Because they're going to KO one of my Pokemon here. Oh, still good damage. But that's got to be in range of +2 Earthquake. So, yeah. Golden Go's done enough. But this is just switch in Dondozo and then switch out Volcarona and Earthquake. And based on the Make It Rain damage, I feel like it is Assault Vest. There is the Delphox. This is the easiest Earthquake of my life. So, I will switch. Delphox outspeeds me, though. Because I wanted some bulk on this Dondozo, I don't outspeed a Delphox, but I will definitely Earthquake. Well, it was Frengardas as well on the first time, wasn't it, with Make It Rain? I am Iron Plate, though, but I didn't Terra Steel, so maybe it's not Assault Vest. Maybe it's just, like, quite special defensive, but who knows. This should be a double KO. I believe this is a Delphox Choice Specs. That's not the right way around. Choice Specs Delphox. So, the worst it can do is trick me. And even then, Earthquake would still double KO. Right? And then I'll just be Earthquaking whatever. There's nothing off the ground that they have on their team. Yeah, this is Indeedee, right? Just for the reasonable expanding force, but I'm Assault Vest. I don't care. This has got to be Terra Psychic as well. Actually, no, this is going to be Terra Psychic so that they survive. So I need to be able to survive 2 Terra Psychic... There you go. 2 Terra Psychic Choice Specs Expanding Forces. But I can easily do that, because I will just Terra Steel next turn. I might not Terra Steel next turn. But if that was Choice Specs Terra Blast, right? Like, so it's still going to be Expanding Force. Oh, I do outspeed. Oh, are they going for Trick Room? Is this... What? If this is Trick Room, then that means they can switch. Yeah, it's just Expanding Force. So, like, I'm pretty confident this is Choice Specs. That was pathetic. So, I outspeed both Pokemon, so I don't even need to Terra, right? So I can just Earthquake again. Right? What's stopping that? Nothing. So, yeah. That's probably a modest Delphox then, I assume. If it was a timid one, then I wouldn't have outsped it, but... We'll take this. So, what was I even scared of? That was perfectly straightforward. So, I'll take that. Oh, I outsped them because Tailwind. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. I'm an idiot. No, I'm just totally washed up and can't even count anymore. I'm a maths teacher. So, yeah, that's why I outsped. See? Thinking ahead, then completely forgetting about it. Thank you, past self. It's good they didn't bring didn't bring Whimsicott, so they couldn't match the Tailwind. That was quite nice. But yeah, the population bomb into a Flame Body Volcarona is not really the play. You are incredibly likely to not KO and get burned at some point. In fact, I'm going to work out the odds for that. Maybe not right now, but I want to know what the likelihood of not being burned is. I can do that right now while I'm waiting. Because it's 0.7 and then it's to the power of 10. And then -1. And that is a, what's that, 2.8% chance to not be burned. And that is a slacking. Okay, that's not ideal because they will outspeed everything on my side except a... No, not even. Like, I don't have a above base 100 Pokemon on my team, even with the doubled speed of Dondozo. So, right. Volcarona would be KO'd in one shot by a slacking. It's also a Dondozo. Like, I didn't even notice that to start off with. I can't even Ice Shard myself because the Weezing will stop the Toxic Debris, so this looks like a terrible matchup for me. And of course, this is the GC, so why wouldn't I get this? So, I don't want to go Dondozo here. I especially don't because of the Weezing, and it would stop the Commander. So, I do go Volcarona. I do go Glamora. Actually, Golden Go is reasonable. What's Baxcalibur like? Baxcalibur's okay. It's alright. Alright, what do I need to drop? Because I do kind of want my Tatsugiri. I drop Baxcalibur. I like Golden Go here. And the theory was that I bring Tatsugiri without Dondozo to most Dondozo matchups. That was just the theory. I barely practiced with that. I've done a little bit of practice, but barely any practice. Oh, that's a rubbish training card. But yeah, this feels like one of my worst matchups I could possibly have got. Because Slacking can Oko either Pokemon. And there is very little I can do about it. I say that by they can high horsepower the Glamora. So I will attempt to Will-O-Wisp the Slacking. I will attempt to Reflect. I say attempt. One of them is happening. So the Slacking won't be as bad. But yeah, Gamora's gone. This is fine. So long as Will-O-Wisp connects, this is fine. I'm content with this if the Will-O-Wisp connects. Okay, this is fine. I will accept this trade. This is fine. So, Slacking isn't as bad now. Yeah, there's the taunt. That's alright. Volcarona can still just go on the offense. I can't Tailwind anymore. Like, I was hoping I could Tailwind next turn. So, it's definitely Golden Go. So I want to save my Tatsugiri. Can I afford to Nasty Plot here? I reckon I can, right? Because the Weezing is useless against the Golden Go. Can't Will-O-Wisp or Tailwind. I would want to switch into Tatsugiri so I could Tailwind in the future, but I can't afford to do that. So I'll instead overheat the Slacking, and I will... I Nasty Block, because they're still going to do loads of damage to me. Yeah, I'll Nasty Block. This is where... Yeah, because I thought it was going to protect. But this is where I would have wanted Rage Powder on my... It wouldn't have mattered, because I can't Rage Powder the Volcarona. Yeah, what? That still did loads. Like, that's why that did loads, of course. So next turn I need to protect the Golden Go and overheat the Slacking. And then they go into Dondozo, and then they just switch an Earthquake, and there's nothing I can do. Oh, and it just KOs the Slacking with the burn. Let's go Volcarona. So, this is a absolutely awful position for me. But there was very little I could do against this. Like, I completely wrote off Slacking Weezing because I didn't even consider it. But this is a absolutely awful matchup for me. However, they are poisoned. Is there any saving grace for them not being poisoned? What? They weren't poisoned because I already said that Toxic Debris doesn't work because the Weezing is already neutralizing it. Therefore, this is just a terrible matchup. So, I see very little way of winning this match at this point. Because I can't Will-O-Wisp. If I could have Will-O-Wisped, I could see away, but I cannot see away. So I will attempt to overheat. I will attempt to Shadow Ball so that I can get my Choice Specs Tatsugiri in. But this is looking incredibly terrible. But I always knew it was going to be. Because this is just going to be an Earthquake and then I lose. So... unless Volcarona can survive 2 Earthquakes, that's the only way I can see back into the match. But even then, it's still looking pretty dire. Yeah, there's the Earthquake. So it made no difference what the Golden Go did like the previous turn. I guess Protect was technically best. If I'd have Protected, that would have objectively been the best thing. But Volcarona does not survive 2 Earthquakes. So that was a good critical hit. So... Can... oh, they're lefties, okay. So... right. There is a way back into this because I'm not taunted, right? Because they will protect to get the leftovers recovery. Right? 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 I'm not taunted anymore. I'm still taunted, no! Oh, I thought I wasn't taunted anymore. So... yeah, because I can't now just get my surprise Terra Blast KO. They have to try and order up into the Tatsugiri, is what it has to be now. So yeah, me still being taunted is not ideal. But if they Earthquake, then there was nothing I could do anyway. So I have to try and just get this surprise KO at this point. And also, the Tatsugiri not being Choice Scarf also has to be a thing. But if I lose this one, then I don't really care. This was just a matchup that is just, like, as far as I can see, it's like a 95-5 in their favour. Yeah, they just Earthquaked, so there was nothing I could do. And I Terra'd to speed it up. So, yeah, like, that 2-1, obviously not the greatest of starts. Like, this is just a matchup I was not able to win. It's a bit unfortunate I did face a Slacking, and also Dondozo. Like, I could manage just the Slacking, but Dondozo as well, no chance. So, whatever. Got to move on.